All right, welcome back. It's the Ray Lucia Show. As I said in the last segment, everyone really ought to be thinking about adding the asset class of real estate. And when I talk about real estate here, I'm not talking about real estate stocks. It goes without saying that in your stock portfolio, you want to have diversification into REITs, real estate investment trust stocks. I am talking about direct owned real estate, in addition to real estate stocks and consumer stocks and et cetera, et cetera. Steve Aledort joins me on the program. Steve, I made a promise to my audience. I hope that you heard it. I promised that we are going to help them all get in a house if they need a house, perhaps help their kids or grandkids buy a house, or get a rental property so that they can use other people's money to potentially give them or their heirs some annuitized income at some point in the future. I recognize with real estate prices where they are and interest rates going up, that's a tall order, but you're a tall man.
Oh, Jesus, that's pressure. Well, I mean, it was interesting because you touched on a couple of things that walked in while you were doing your first segment. One was on house affordability. The other was using the house as an investment tool for your retirement. And I had a couple things that pop up, so we can talk about that. As far as affordability, the affordability has definitely decreased based on a number of factors. You have housing prices that have gone up significantly, especially in the last couple of years. We've also had interest rates within the last year go up at least a full point on the 30-year fixed rate loans. Prior to all of the Fed moves, one of the ways that we were able to help people qualify for more home would be looking at a 7-year loan. We talked about that loan for a long period of time. A year ago, there was about not only a 3/4 point or more difference in the rate on the 7-year versus the 30-year, but the qualifying on the 7-year, and this was before the Fed started making their moves, we were able to qualify the borrower at that 3/4 point lower interest rate. Based on the increase in the Fed moves and the increase in the adjustable indices that are tied to the adjustable rate loans, is on a 7-year loan or a 5-year loan, we're either required, more so on the 7, we're required to qualify the borrower either on the current rate, or the fully indexed rate once it goes to its adjustment. And based on the adjustable indices moving up a full point plus as well, is now qualifying somebody on the 7-year sometimes is at a higher rate than on a 30-year fixed. So we've lost that, in a sense, as a tool to help people buy and get either a larger home or a larger mortgage. As far as
You're not helping me.
As far as the particular...
You're not as tall. You just shrunk 3 or 4 inches, buddy.
I'm giving you some numbers. What I'm trying to do is to gain a little bit of height here. So the key is, Fannie, Freddie, you can qualify between a 45 and a 50% debt to income ratio, FHA, VA up to 55%. A lot of that's based on your full profile. So the keys are, dealing with your financial debt is now even more important. The higher your credit scores, the greater flexibility we have at going to the upper end of the scale of the debt to income ratio qualifications. So key being, minimize your credit debt, pay your credit debt down or pay your credit debt off.
And pay it on time.
If you have something that comes up where you've got a medical payment that wasn't paid by your insurance company, at least get it paid if the insurance company hasn't paid but you think they should, and then deal with the insurance company. Don't let that go to collections. So there are things that you can do to improve your position to be able to qualify for more mortgage. You just have to be more studious about how you manage your debt.
Steve Aledort, loan financial planner, because that's what he does. Now, I'm on this jag where I really want everybody that wants a home to get a home. I really want everybody that wants a rental property and understands the dynamics of owning a rental property to get one, because as I see it, people have made a lot of money in the stock market, probably more than they deserve. I mean, if you think about it, stocks don't go up 15% a year for 10 years that often. And that's what we're looking at. So people that were consistent investors, and most of the people listening to this program were taught and trained to just hang on for dear life. And if you did, you're a pretty happy camper right now. And if you invested more money along the way, you are an ecstatic camper right now. But what I'm encouraging, Steve, is that they scrape a little bit of those profits right now and try to move them into something that might be a lot less volatile. Granted, they need a good real estate agent and they need a good mortgage dude like you, and they probably need a property manager and someone to, deal with all the minutia. But from an asset allocation standpoint, even though real estate can be volatile, it's way less volatile than stocks.
Yeah, here the key is first initially getting in. Because if you're looking to acquire an investment property, you need a minimum of 20% down. 25% down will at times give you a significantly better interest rate. So the key would be to be able to have the funds in order to make that initial investment. But then you've got to also do the research. What type of property are you going to look to purchase? Is it going to be a single family, one unit? Is it going to be a condo? Is it going to be a multiple family unit, 2 to 4 units? You want to also find out, hey, what kind of rents am I going to be able to collect? What are my payments going to be? So can I break even? Can I make money? Also realizing that when we're doing loan qualifying, is that when you're purchasing an investment property, what we do is the appraiser will go out and give us, here are the expected rents based on them doing the survey within the appraisal, but we're only able to count 75% of that. So even though you may have calculated a break-even or positive cash flow based on what you're actually going to get, as far as loan qualifying purposes, we're only going to be able to use 75% of that. So it's key that if you're looking to get into purchasing an investment property, that you deal with a loan professional, find out, hey, here's my portfolio, here's my scenario. I own this property, I have this debt, can I qualify to buy X property? And we can go through the keys that you need in order to do the research to make sure when you go out and you make an offer that we're going to be able to qualify.
Steve Aledort, loan financial planner. He's the man when it comes to this stuff. There's no question about it. He's the best in the biz. And when we come back, I am going to talk about a couple ideas that I have. Maybe I will be as tall as you someday.
Well,
not likely, but I'm going to try. Also, we got to find out with this Fed interest rate hike, who that's affecting, et cetera, et cetera. Make sure you stick around. This is my favorite time of the week when I get to chat with Steve about helping you put real estate in your portfolio. Stick around.